The life.
That sounds very Hey, Brian, I was going through the NPC list and I didn't see Bartholomew, the wild druid. We kind of, I want to visit him.
Hey, Brian, how about that? When you work so hard to put out an NPC list, and he's like, hey, you forgot one.
Better than forgetting all of them.
Well, true.
I kind of like that as a mustache for you. It worked.
Yeah, these aren't as menacing. They have flowers on them.
Oh, hippies. Damn. One damn can't stand about the same color as all damn hippies.
Hey, Pav, did it get nice and cold for you guys?
No, not yet. That's tomorrow.
Brian got his first dusting. I saw that.
Oh, did you? Oh, wow.
We got down.
I think the mountains definitely got something, but yeah, not till tomorrow.
Yeah, we hit 26 the other night, so it's been back and forth. Yeah.
I mean, the nights have been getting down to the 40s, but the days still get up. I think today got up to 78. So.
Yeah.
And the damn moon is so bright.
Yeah.
It's pretty.
It's a super hunter's moon tonight.
Oh, it was.
It was really cool yesterday morning when I got up because it was just going right behind the mountains as I was driving to work. It was pretty, and it was huge.
Where are you in Colorado?
A place called Aurora, which is just east of Denver.
Yeah, not quite in the mountains.
It's where all the Venezuelan gangs have taken over, and we're all in.
Okay, well, here's the question: is that true story or is that bullshit?
Do you see me talking Venezuelan? No. There are game problems. Don't give me the problem. There have been some game problems, but I think the media overblew it on both sides. So,
okay, fair enough.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll just tell you, fucking.
Where one side said it's everybody's and being there. There's gangs all over the place taking over in one place. There's none of that shit's happening. Bullshit. Come on, guys. But that's just
an opinion I trust, though.
Yeah. Oh, thanks, man. I appreciate it.
Well, don't hold on to it too long. I still believe in the Easter Bunny, so
that explains so much.
Is that the same Easter Bunny as on the Santa Claus movie?
Oh man,
built for speed and.
All right. Well, we're live, so welcome back, everybody. I know it's been, I think, a couple of weeks since the last time that we've been on, but so welcome back to the Mystic Syndicate. I'm your Dungeon Master, Brian, and tonight is episode 43 of the Princess of Celene Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition campaign. And as always, we're going to start off our introductions, but it looks like Thundercats left the I remembered that.
She's a ranger. Maybe she's doing stealthy stuff.
Okay. So
we're introducing. We're live.
Yeah. So.
Oh, she's like the Predator. She came in like the Predator.
Yeah. So Thundercat, go ahead and get started.
I'm Melinda. I play Greta Babbleboots. She's a ranger. Beyond that, we're not really sure what she is. Well, okay, Brian knows what she is, but that doesn't count.
Comes out
with her companion, the ward called Bubbles.
Hi, I'm Mike. I'm playing Kiffy Blackhammer, Dwarven Cleric of Fortubo.
Hello, I'm Pav. I play Pellek Celene, a human paladin of Heronius.
I'm Russ. I play Yarden Grimmer Tofenham Halderson. And I'm a mage. Some days a good mage, some days not so good.
I'm Ed. I play Lord Tomas Waverly, Bard and Knight of the Realm, and Ambassador to multiple regions of Greyhawk.
And Friend of Dragons.
And owner of the biggest stick up his butt.
Yeah, we're gonna have to do something about that.
Yeah, I'm still not working with the Friends of Dragons. In fact, my wisdom roll of how I feel towards her at the beginning of the game, I always do when I come in, is a 2 tonight. So I'm just warning you up front.
We'll just ply you with liquor. You'll get a
How's
lot
that?
nicer. I am Glenn. I am playing Thimble Snivenblaven. I am a artist and the current Chancellor of Bissell. Somebody want a job?
Okay, so very good. So the last time that we were all together, you all were in Celene. You had waited around to see exactly what the Orb of Prophecy had to tell you. And after such a time, you had, some of you had had a vision. I know that Kiffy had a vision and was gifted a special ability to his hammer by his god Fortubo.
I gotta get a god.
The rest of you, some of you were able to understand a little bit more about the prophecy through these visions. And then I think when we last, right as we were getting ready to close up shop, I think you had actually, did you teleport to Pellek? Or were you getting ready to teleport to Pellek? I think you teleported.
No,
there.
Temple went and
We haven't gone anywhere yet. I don't think.
Not anywhere.
And,
I was waking everybody up from their sleep.
Oh, that's right.
Because we got to talk.
Yeah. And
well, not everybody, just those of us that were in the vision.
Right. And then Grenna had taken some time to visit the Royal Library in Instead, where she talked briefly with the Queen Mother, Shirra, about her situation concerning her origins. And she found a couple of books that also helped cast a little bit more information, some light onto the subject. Grenna is right now having a crisis of identity. She had once thought that she was a gnome, but actually you probably were a gnome when you were first born. But the arcane energies in the Feywild had changed you somewhat. So that is where we're picking up this evening. So, folks, you are still in Celene. You, I think, have a plan now, hopefully.
Yeah.
And
does it matter?
And just the point of doing them, they never last beyond first contact.
Yeah.
Or hell, first.
So I just
So what are we doing?
okay.
But
So
now it's
well, we're still waking up, and we still and Timble went to go get the others who were a part of the dream, because I don't think we had that discussion yet.
We dreamers need to go and continue to interrupt his sexy time.
Yeah.
Pellek.
You're just giving her another thing to put on her bucket list. That's all.
So in the dream, in the vision, I guess, I'm still not certain about that. We have who all was there? There were 4 of us. It was
You, me, Kiffy,
Iffy, and wasn't it stick up his
Tomas.
ass?
and Tomas. Yes.
That is correct. And the twist that I did is I looked back towards the door, saw Fortubo come in. So I saw the different levels of this from a different perspective.
And we saw who it was that was sitting on the bench.
Did every one of us see the same? Is kind of my big question when we get together.
I don't believe every one of you saw the person sitting on the bench, or actually were able to recognize them. But
I think it was just Kellix and Timble.
we're fucked.
Yeah,
Because we're the only ones that went around the front.
didn't identify.
I saw, but I didn't know who it was. I mean, it was like kind of because I was a little bit further back from everybody watching the whole situation,
Right. But you
so I
were
didn't get up.
yeah,
Go ahead, Brian. Sorry.
but you were privy to some more information by looking into the darkness.
And what did I gather from that?
That was where you were taken to a strange room that there was gold and gems strewn all over the floor. There were skeletal remains of people. And at the
I
very
dropped
end,
yeah.
yeah. So, as a matter of fact, there's some AI artwork with that in there, so that's kind of cool. Alrighty, I think you created something kind of neat.
Yeah, I remember it now. But I intentionally dropped a coin. I remembered why I did it. So
Yeah. Okay.
And I think Timble went to the church.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Temple actually went to the church, talked to the priests there, and actually just to see if Asenath was in the congregation or
Just
praying by
regularly in the
herself.
congregation where there was a. Does she hang out here at all? Often? You know,
Yeah.
that sort of thing.
Right.
But
She was dressed kind of as a commoner.
yeah, Keelix and I, when we viewed the figure, there was no question for us who we saw.
Correct.
Okay. 2 of 4, 50% chance that well, he and I are just a bunch of well, I'll let it go. There's no point in trying to guess it. Fate will come out there. Well, Fate or Mr. Murphy will come out here and fuck us. Well, I'm going to grab those two and bring them back to Keelix's room.
And don't forget, Brian, we also established that Bon Jovi is the opening act for Celestian the Far Wanderer.
Okay.
Couldn't you get somebody like Skid Row, something to listen to?
Don't even start with me, man. I love Skid Row, and but anyway.
Cheap.
Itch. All right. So let's go and let's kind of cross share our stories and cross check each other so
Yep.
everybody knows what's going.
Okay, well then,
So where are you all meeting at?
Felix's room. And he has, of course, his visitor.
Right.
Or is it her room and he's the visitor?
No, it was his room, and
Our room.
she's visiting.
Oh,
And we're dressed now.
So as the rest of you all make your way to Kellix's chambers, you find that, of course, he is not alone, but of course now he's at least dressed and no longer in his birthday suit, so to speak.
Tidy whiteys.
It's my birthday.
And so, yeah, you all are assembled in there. What's the conversation like?
Well, now that we are all here, I have a question for well, Tommy.
Hold on. I'm just checking something real quick. Can somebody, if I cast Leoman's Tiny Hut, can people on the outside hear through that? Is what I'm looking for real quick to give us kind of a private place to talk, even more private.
I'm done with that.
It's an extra dimension or space. Space.
No, it's a 10-foot radius immovable dome of force.
Which is a little bit different.
Yeah, no, I'm just looking at it real quick. So give me a second.
Really? It's not like they really changed it that much?
Yeah, I'm actually kind of stunned by it. So Leoman's Tiny Hut is a 10-foot radius immobile dome of force. Springs into existence around and above you and remains stationary. 9 creatures of medium size or smaller can hide inside or fit inside. Spell fails. Creatures and objects within the dome when you first cast this spell can move through it freely. All other creatures and objects are barred from passing through it. Spells and other magical effects can't extend to the dome, but it doesn't say sound. It does say atmosphere inside the space is comfortable, dry, regardless of weather. That's all it says.
So I'm assuming since it says hide into it, you can't see through it then. So it's a solid force. So solid.
Yeah, it's wall. Yeah, it's and I didn't say. I mean, I didn't mean to say hide earlier. So that was
Oh, okay.
that was just me reading in the dark. So it's move through it. So
All that's all you're doing in the dark, Ed.
I think we kind of touched on this a little bit earlier, Brian, with regards to this. Because I think I was going to use it with the dragon, and I can't change the opacity. Would we agree that maybe there is a dampened sound, maybe, or mutes the sound on the inside?
I always thought that whatever went on in the inside was that there was no way that anybody could hear on the outside. That was my interpretation.
Goes on the inside, stays on the inside.
Yeah, it's Vegas.
Yes, but you can hear what's going on the outside. You can see what's going on and everything on the outside. Is how I always viewed it too.
Yeah, but like creatures on the outside could not actually look in.
Right.
Yeah.
So what would be the ruling there? Would we agree that maybe it's muffled but you can't tell, or because you still have to be quiet? I think that's fair. But I'm just trying to give us a secure place to speak. Would that count as a secure place?
I would think so.
We're taking your word.
To me, it sounds like that would be right. So
Okay.
let's go with that. Making a command decision. That's how we're doing this.
All right. So Layman's Tiny Hut, real quick. Everybody can be there inside. We can talk. Invite who you want to be there. This is probably the most secure conversation we as a party can have.
Well, for now, it's 5 of us, counting the princess, Melinda.
Melda.
Melda. It's just another.
Now I am a princess, but not your.
Yeah, we actually already had a discussion about this. No one actually knows that Grenna is the princess of Celene.
Well, look what's on it though. Oh, well, you can't see. There it is. It's a spider.
Ooh.
Why do I keep feel like she's doing that joke from the 80s? You're running through a forest.
Yep.
So if we bring her in and then bring in Grenna, or do we just have a quick conversation with this group?
Right now, we're going to have the quick conversation with us,
The dreamers.
the dreamers,
And me.
plus one elf chick, and then we can go. Hey, it's a lively room.
All right. Well, I'm going to cast Layman's Tiny Hut, create that dome area, so we can have a quick talk about what we just went through.
Nice.
And Melda is Melda there? Is the only question I had.
Yes.
Yeah, she's still in her room.
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna be up front. I had a vision, and I'll go forth and explain that I went to the church and then went to bed. And then I had a vision of the 4 of us going to that same church. I should say after, yeah. And there was a hooded figure on a bench. And I came around and looked inside the hood, and I saw someone. And I need to know if I've already spoken with Calix. He saw someone, but he has his own tale to tell. But I need to know if either of you were able to see, or if you were there, or if you had the dream. Did you see whom was within the hood?
I had the dream. I saw the person, but I didn't identify. I did have another visitation, but that didn't really have anything to do with the hooded figure.
At this point, I think everything might have import, but
Who was this visitor? This other visitation you had, Kiffy?
Much like the vision that we had earlier when we had been in the halls rescuing the Margrave, Fortubo came to me and added more blessings to my hammer.
Wow.
You are truly blessed.
Indeed.
We have direct involvement by a god. Now, again, did he say anything concerning what's going on?
He didn't say anything about that. He was just
He didn't act like a coach.
for my service and humility.
You back to war?
No, he didn't really say anything pertinent to our situation. It was more of a personal conversation.
Okay.
Well, I guess there wasn't much in my dream except, what Timble saw. I mean, I saw him walk through a bench and then he disappeared. And that's when I went around to the other side, saw who the figure was. And then that's when I woke up. You're next, Tomas.
Well, I just reshared the AI art of the room, and I explained to the guys, what I saw, and then I'd placed this coin in there from the dragon horde. Part of my logic there is, if we can get the dragon maybe to hone in on it, dragons know all about their gold and everything like that. It gives me a point of reference, tells me if it's real. Dragons lord over their treasure, and they count it meticulously. If it's like Smaug, that's how he knew Bilbo had taken one of his cups. That's kind of my logic on that. And then, man, this Toby dude, I don't know about him.
Interesting. What's also is interesting is the figure in the dream had the same cloak as the one in the vision.
Yeah.
Or not the vision, the vision we had with the
prophecy.
The prophecy.
So and I didn't say who I saw. You haven't said.
I'm trying to. This Kellex is kind of with Melda being there. I don't want any family members to worry at this point until we know more.
Since they didn't see, it's kind of pertinent. So I will say that the figure I saw was makes no fucking sense. It is the Princess Asenath.
And as soon as you say that that name, Melda's ears perk up, and she looks at you and says, "How can that even be? That doesn't make any sense."
I think that's what I said. That makes, I don't know.
The mom kind of looks over and says, I'm a nobody from nowhere, and I'm a lord, ambassador, knight of the realm. I ride dragons for a living. None of it makes sense.
Well, that is true.
Brian, could you go through the prophecy once again?
Sure. Okay,
Just
so
quickly.
Yeah. So, to refresh your memories, when you first see the prophecy, it is in the middle of a raging storm at sea. And as you're looking at it, it zooms in very, very tightly on a ship that looks to be in the same style as a Viking Nar, but it has been modified so that it could go for much further distances. You see on the you see that the sails have been pulled up. The wheel has been lashed to the banisters and everything to try to keep it from being torn apart by the storm. And finally the storm clears, and you see that your team of adventurers, and also a seventh person who you're not familiar with, is standing with you on the bow of the ship as you are pulling into a slip at this very, what could only be described as a dingy little port town. The people there are, you can't see their faces, but you can see their manner of clothing is very dingy. It's dark. There doesn't seem to be a lot of colors, and what they're wearing is tattered. And as you all step off the ship, the last person to step off the ship is the mysterious seventh person. And as soon as their feet touch the ground, the sun is blotted out in a sort of a long-lasting eclipse. And that is where, and as you're looking, you can also see far off in the distance is this gigantic oak tree, very reminiscent of the life tree, Delastra, which is located in Celene, in Instad itself. But Shirra was able to tell you a little bit more information about it, that this is Alastra, the sister of the life tree, which means there's two of them. And there is, it is said that the roots go, it's a myth, of course, you're not really too sure. There's a legend that the roots intertwine at the core of the planet. So it's kind of, it's interesting. So there you go. There's the prophecy once again spread out in front of you.
Real quick, I know last time we played, I was really getting the vibes that, is this going to be, can we tell what race they are? Are they Sul, Bakloonish? Because where I'm going here, and I'm not trying to sound it, but the other side of the earth, are we going to go, is this like a Karatura kind of place, or Asian? Do the people look different than us, like more different colored skin, different facial features, things like that?
Not really. Like I said, you weren't really able to pick out individual facial features or skin colors or anything. You just know that their clothing or their manner of dress was depressive. Like I said, the buildings look dilapidated. It looked.
And Shirra told us exactly where the tree was at, if I remember right.
I thought she couldn't.
Yeah, she couldn't tell you
didn't know.
exactly where it was
Oh,
at,
okay.
but it is allegedly on the exact opposite side of the world from Delastra. Now you could probably talk to maybe some very well-known mages.
The Revo brothers.
You might be able to talk to the Revo brothers. They may have actually been there. Also, another thing is, if you remember, these trees are Fey creations. So that information you might be able to go before the summer court to find out more about this, this set of trees. So you have options. I mean, it's not like you're have no earthly clue where to find this. You do have options.
We always have options.
Oh yeah.
Just
got
picking the right one.
Yeah.
Shouldn't you call Earth Elementals Orth Elementals if you're in Greyhawk?
Yeah, I mean, why not?
Well,
Therefore, they'd be Faroon Elementals when you're in Faroon.
Yeah.
Anyway,
everywhere.
where I kind of thought where it was going, Brian, was like, in a lot of the Japanese hierarchy, the villagers would be kind of poor. That's where I was thinking it was going. So that's where I was going with the. Man, I'm like, all right, break out Oriental Adventures. I'm all down for that.
That would be fun.
Yeah, that would be cool. Very
All right.
neat.
Well, I've got this space for 10 hours, but once you leave, you can't come back in. Well, once I leave, you guys fuck. So,
again, explain your side and your side. What do you believe in our visions? So
Well,
anything, any
you know-
image perhaps you saw when myself, Helix jumped across and
Nope.
we're looking, was there something that you saw that perhaps we could say, oh yeah, that was there, to help me be convinced that there isn't shenanigans going on?
So I would say Tomas, in this particular sense, as he saw it hanging at the back of the group, I could say yes, somebody was sitting over at that pew, right? Yes, I turned around and I watched Fortubo walk in. I'm the only person that saw him come in, and I witnessed what Fortuba happened with Kippy, so I totally can corroborate that. The Bon Jovi warm up band, I saw all that. So all those things as they kind of come together, I'm just like the anchoring point in a weird way. So I'm kind of like Jack Nicholson in one flew over the cuckoo's nest.
All right, so what do you guys believe? Do you believe this is
I think it's where we got to go.
the real deal?
Yeah.
I feel my character feels so that this is where we're going. It's almost like how do we expedite it to get there? And yeah, that's how I'd play it. Not so much that I wouldn't at least want to get my wife and possibly unborn child to a safer location, but it just feels like, from my interpretation of this dream, if there's two, think of the movie Contact. Well, why build two? One, if you can build two for twice the price. Whatever's going to happen is going to happen there.
Okay.
Kellex kind of squeezes Mildred's hand in a bit of reassurance. I think we need to get some more information. And obviously, we need to tell the Queen and probably Shirra. Maybe they might have some insight to why it's Princess Asenath that is with us in the vision or the prophecy.
All right, so what would be our next step? Obviously, I think we should pull in our other two group members and talk with them
Agreed.
about what we saw and see if they had some differing vision. And then perhaps we, at that point, need to, do we want to speak with the Queen separately from the grandmother? I mean, I don't know. We seem to sort of have more of a connection with grandma than we do Yolanda. So what are your thoughts? Or do we just do it all at once? Pull the Band-Aid and go?
I believe in doing it all at once. I mean, either one is going to find out eventually, We'll need to find out. So I think we just should talk to them to get together. I mean, maybe her mother might provide some information on why.
Well, the only reason I thought of doing it that way is that from the Druidic end, she might have some things going on that perhaps she wouldn't want to share with Yolanda. I don't know how the separation of church and state is here, but I don't know if they are open books to each other.
Well, is it church and state, or is it nature and nurture kind of thing? The Queen is.
Yeah, I mean, there's lots of ways to divide it. It's just I don't know if information sharing would become problematic. I don't know if that problem exists.
Well, Kellex looks over to Melda and asks, "What do you think?"
She says, well, I mean, first you're going to have very good solid evidence before Mother is going to let Asenath out of the castle. Talking to Shirra is probably the best and easiest way, and also Shirra would know If the prophecy is not fulfilled, then there is bad things that can happen if the prophecy is not fulfilled. So Shirra would probably be the best person to try to convince the queen to
Of the
allow
validity.
this to happen.
Brian, on the scale of elf responsibility, for lack of a better term, is 75 considered like at the beginning of their adolescence? Because we're dealing with, Shira is 1001, so it is such a wide swath.
Right.
Does that make sense?
Yeah. So, what age are you looking? Is there a specific person you're looking for?
Well, with Princess Asenath, she's only 75.
Yeah, she's very
So
young.
yeah,
She's
that's
not
why I'm
century yet.
Yeah.
right. So to me, I'm just trying to gauge in Elven society, is it like don't speak until you're spoken to, keep kind of quiet and stoic until you learn wisdom XYZ, or and the youngers are more rambunctious? I'm trying to understand that a little bit.
Right. Well, yeah. Okay. So with Asenath, being that she's 75 years old, she's still extremely young. In comparison, you have Melda, who's like 300 and something. Shirra, Shira's like over 1,000. Yolanda's like 800. I think Moore's Ivy is probably about over 1,000. So Santaisha, I think, is like 290 or something like that. Yeah. So the situation with that is that they are, in the case of Asenath, she has been very sheltered because of what happened to her sister. The queen will not let her out of. Leaving the castle is completely forbidden. So her sneaking out is, if her mother found out, it would probably be pretty bad. So yeah,
I guess that's what I'm trying to gauge. So we're saying like 75 is like 13 or 14 years old, maybe ish.
probably. Yeah, I would say that would probably be about right. Because she because she kind of fell in line with Shirley when she was there, and Shirley and Asenath became quick friends. Even though you all may have been too busy to notice, yeah, they had actually, there was a bonding situation. So, and that is why, yes.
Based on that, and upon reflection, because you said, there was some debate that we thought this might be Shirley, body type, clothes she's wearing. Is she wearing Shirley's old clothes in the vision?
No.
Okay.
No, Shirley was pretty much
No.
buried with everything she had.
No, style wise, like, is she trying to pattern herself off of those type of clothing?
No, it's okay. Just, she was just using simple clothing that she'd probably taken and from either hand-me-downs that were very worn from Santaisha, or even stuff stolen from Val that looked like it had been pretty worse for wear, being that boys, even elven boys, can be kind of rough on their clothing. So yeah, she was able to piecemeal some clothing that didn't look regal. So,
but definitely elvish. Got it. Okay, got it.
Oh yeah, definitely elvish.
Roger.
Okay.
Is it morning time, Brian, or is it still like early morning?
No, you've been meeting for a while and talking, so it's probably getting closer to about 5 in the morning. So first light will be probably within like another hour.
Well, we need to get the other guys in here and get their thoughts. Obviously, then perhaps we can meet with Shirra and go over what we saw and let her ask questions and pick it apart also. Hate to do it and interrupt her morning as such, but maybe Melda can help us with that. Getting getting there and having a chance to actually sit down with her.
Well, here's an interesting question. Why not just ask Asenath herself what's going on?
Because that would mean getting her away from everyone and doing it and expecting a 13-year-old to keep her mouth shut.
And tell us exactly what's going on. The truth.
And she might. Because if she was tight with Shirley, she might trust us. And now it becomes a
Well,
heist
I
where
mean,
we break her out and start her on this mission.
I do believe we've been heroes here. We're considered heroes. We do have a level of respect given to us.
And the most we're gonna get anything out of her is why she's at the church. She doesn't know anything about the prophecy. So
How do we know that? If we're seeing it, then she's probably seen it.
what actually, Brian, was she there when the prophecy was?
No,
Hmm.
that was pretty much left up to the adults.
Well, first off,
Comma.
let's stick with Shirra.
Actually, I'm going to challenge that. Do you think that she really went off, or maybe one of the little cubby holes she's listening in? I think she knows more than she's letting on.
Wasn't there a bubble put up by the Queen or one of them? Bilius, or what's his name? Oh, Belmetto.
Oh, during the attack.
No. What is his name?
Moore's Ivy.
Thank you, Moore's Ivy, the old coot that's crushing on Shirra. I thought he put up a bubble of some sort, some protection, or was that in another conversation we had?
That was during the dragon attack. I thought.
I thought we did one recently.
We didn't.
Okay.
We didn't like,
So we just did it in. All right. Well,
Hmm.
Well, I think the next step is to get the Yarn and Grenna here and ask them if they had a dream, even though they weren't in this one. Maybe they had some other vision.
Since we can't
So
leave
take-
this thing, does somebody have some way of sending to them to wake them?
I can't bring him in. I'd have to redo it as spell.
No.
Hey, Brian, what would you call as a memory? If I wanted to try and call back on my memory and remember when she's walking out of a room or something like that, was she always going in a huff? Was it very theatrical? Like, oh, fine. 'Cause I do think she's hiding behind the scenes and she knows exactly what's going on. You know, hey, it's time for the big boy table, and then she leaves. Do I have any memories of her leaving a room or anything like that?
The thing with in the when you were watching or observing the orb of prophecy, she was nowhere to be seen, even when you walked in.
Okay, so she wasn't even there when we started.
Right.
Okay.
And besides, I mean, us approaching an elven child and trying to get some. I think she would probably want to talk. She would easily talk with her grandmother than us.
We could get some candy and say, "Come on, let's go talk. I got some candy. We can talk. Come on with us."
You're
So is Tomas the kid catcher from?
yeah, the
The
archetype of
child catcher.
freedom of man right there.
Gonna take
By
it.
the way,
you need your bells, kids.
first of all, it's shot in Rotenburg. Love that city. Glenn and I have been there many times. Secondly, we were watching something the other night, and the dude that played Theon Greyjoy in the Game of Thrones, I said, "Oh shit, they need to remake Chitty Chitty Bang Bang and have him play the child catcher."
Oh,
That would... So anyway, so now Tomas is now the child catcher. It's funny you thought that, Pop.
okay. Let's do we converge on Grenna or Alphabet?
Yeah, we just. I think we just move. We kind of know that what we got. We know what we're doing. I can dispel this. We can move to them. Kind of have just quick conversations, and then let's put it in motion.
And then after that,
Agreed.
then we go catch breakfast with Shirra, if we can.
Yep.
Okay.
Well, that's where I'd go. Hey, Melda, can you go ahead and start arranging that while we go talk to them, and then she can brief them and doesn't feel like she's obligated to follow our story. We can still have conversations that might be private.
She says, "Of course, I can. I can go locate my grandmother. It shouldn't be that hard. Most likely, she may already be at the tree, so she starts pretty early."
Yep.
She's a druid.
I think we'd be pretty
Hang out
grateful.
with the morning birds and stuff, right?
Yeah. So Melda excuses herself and heads off out of the room. And so you drop your tiny hut, and you guys start to make your way. Who are you waking first? Are you waking Grinna or Yarn?
We should get them both at
Okay.
once.
Who's the next room down the road?
Yeah. I mean, you guys are all on the same hallway, so it's not like you're like on the opposite end of the castle. So cool.
Maybe
So-
we should go to the kennels and get the smart one.
Damn.
Wow. All right. So yeah, I guess we'll knock on whosever door is nearest. So
Okay, so Yarn's
And,
is closer, and then right next door to his is Grinna's.
I'll
Right.
run over to Grinnis and knock on the door.
Okay.
so we're gonna go crowd into Yarn's room. Okay.
Okay, so yeah, for a couple of minutes
I'll
later.
bring Grinna
So-
along momentarily.
So Yarn, you hear a rapping at your door.
Fireball!
Wait. The door is
He's dreaming.
the door is vaporized, and everybody behind it takes, what is it? I guess it depends on the level of fireball you're throwing.
8d6.
Oh boy! Boom!
But who's counting?
Yeah, and as you open the door, you see that there is the rest of the group
What
is
the fuck
is
has
stand-
gone wrong now?
Yarn, Tim went to go get Grinna. We actually have some matters to discuss. Mind if we come in?
Sure, why not? It's a party.
it's an intervention. Okay,
Right. So I'm assuming we've all gathered into Yarn's room.
You have all assembled in Yarn's room.
We need like a name. Should we be like Avengers Assemble, but not Avengers?
Drunkards assembled.
Well, I'm going to just tell Grinna that we're assembling in Yarn's room. Something has transpired over the night. Come as quick as you can, and then I will skedaddle over to Yarn's room and let her get ready.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah. So so it only takes a few minutes for Grinna to get all put together, and she ends up walking in, and so you all are now assembled in Yarn's room.
I guess we go through immediately our information one by one. And then what do you think, Master Yarn? What do you think?
I think we're going to end up with Aseneth on a boat going to the other tree. How we get within 7 months. How we get there from here, I'm not sure. But I'm assured that that's what we're going to be doing.
I'm not sure. Do we know that it was 7 months? Did you already tell the
Yeah.
crew that? Okay.
I told
I couldn't
everybody.
remember.
I
Okay, I
told
wasn't sure if you told us.
I have a problem hiding information that is useful to the group.
So we should hide everything from you.
Probably. But I can't see how that would be any different than now.
I'm sorry that my vision had the temerity to not invite you.
I ain't worried about that. Besides, okay. So, what's important here? Crap. We got a lot of what's important, don't we?
Mm,
We
it's
have
not-
to take care of business
narrow
first
down.
before we do anything.
We have to take care of Bissell. We got to take.
There is one thing
Leave me alone.
There is one thing that we can rule out.
What's that?
The gateway that the Tree of Life here may be into Fae is not how we get to the Fae tree on the other side of the world.
That's correct, because the prophecy showed us on a freaking boat.
Right. So we can rule that out, that
Now,
we go in and cut the distance.
Is it a literal?
y'all may not remember this. Y'all may not remember this, but do you remember when we were in the what was that keep? The first keep,
The dwarven keep.
the dwarven keep. What was
Yeah.
the name of that?
Kodal Keep.
Kodal keep. When we were Kodal keep, and we all had the dreams. So my dream was piloting a ship with the flag of Celene, which I didn't recognize at the time, towards a dark thing. So I'm pretty sure that's where we're headed.
What do you mean by thing? I mean, a storm? Are you talking about?
Well, it was dark. It was stormy.
So piloting into darkness.
Piloting into darkness. It was stormy, and there was a critter. I don't remember what the critter was.
So an entity was within the darkness.
Some sort of critter. And I kept thinking, yeah. So, like I said, we're going to end up on the boat.
Not a good one. I just got horns.
Did Toby qualify as a critter?
So, no, Toby's not qualified as a critter. This thing had tentacles. Tentacles. NT.
Okay, that's
Religious
That's Japanese hentai porn, Toby.
All right.
God.
All right, guys. To make that happen, there's a couple of things that we need to do, or I need to do, and I need Grinna and Kiffy's help, and 3 apes.
Did you guys roll for religion to see if you might have some religious thought on tentacled?
Well,
Since
my
we already-
god is Zerbo, so
We have so
Would that
many
help? Would
deities
that help?
popping in and out. That was kind of my first thought was does
Not with a boar.
So a dark entity, a tentacled entity. All right.
Mhm.
I'll do a religion check.
Is it like Iuz or whatever is the
It's a
evil
well,
one here that we've dealt with?
so Pellek, you rolled very well. Lots of 4s today, I can see. But no,
I
Pellek,
feel
you
so
rolled.
bad.
Pellek, you don't remember or even recall anything about any tentacle covered gods or goddesses of that you've heard of before. It doesn't really ring a bell.
So
Real quick,
what about during my studies when I'd learned abyssal or anything like that? Does that sound no?
Yeah.
Brian, I threw a nature check a minute ago,
Okay.
and it's an 11, so it's kind of a weird one, right?
Yeah.
First of all, what kind of tree is the one tree? Is it an oak?
It's an oak.
Okay.
Yep.
And do I know how oaks pollinate or germinate?
They have
Uh,
orange, dumbass.
well,
What's
okay.
that? Yeah,
They have
that's
acorns.
the product. That's the product. I happen to know that oaks are weird and they're wind pollinated versus trees like fruit bearing like apples, which they require pollination from insects. So that's a different thing. I know that,
Yes.
Okay.
but I'm trying to say, does Tomas know that? Because if we're traveling all the way to the other tree, we should be taking pollen to pollinate that tree. We should take a bag of holding full of pollen. Shake that tree, collect all the pollen, and dump it over the other tree and create another tree.
So we've gone from rated R to an educational channel.
No, it's rated R. Ed's just thinking about a veterinarian assisting racehorses. I'll say.
Hey, all I'm going to say first of all, the guy that assisted racehorses was Chris Banks, and Mike knew him.
Can I pick up on
Sec-
it?
Secondly, hi Kendra.
Thank you, Adam.
Okay. So, yeah, I mean, you know a little bit about the nature of oak trees, but you also have to remember that this is not a tree that was created naturally. This is a fey creation. So its physiological structure might be different, because number one, you know that the sap of oak trees normally, while ingesting them may make you sick, it's not going to kill you outright like a live tree will. You can't take the sap of a regular oak and turn it into a superior healing potion either. So,
And Ross, have you noticed how you don't see the same druid more than once on that island? It's a carnivorous tree.
Ooh, it's a mimic. No,
Healing. I would be willing to sacrifice you for that.
understood it's a fake creation, but it also needs, if we were going to create another one, hey Grenna, imagine if we could get a seed off of the life trees, and you could present that to buy your way out of this stupid court that just keeps cursing us forever. Give them a cross-pollinated tree. I'm Mr. Miyagi here now.
Nope, that's not what they want.
I think Shirra did mention that tree, the other tree, is called the tree of death. So I'm not sure.
Is that true?
I think it was, wasn't it, Brian? Didn't she call it? It had a name that was kind of the opposite?
No, she did not call it that. She said it is literally the sister tree of this one. Yeah, it's
Maybe it's just my inner thought coming out.
Yeah, no, that's okay.
Well, and this is where Ed's inner X-rated comes out and say we take two branches and make them scissor if they're sisters. But anyway.
And we're back to being radar.
That's how you get paratrooper.
All right, so back to our. Okay, so what's our next step? I guess.
Yeah, there.
Actually, we haven't heard from Grenna yet. Did Grenna finally show up in the room?
Shoulda.
Yeah, Grenna's there.
Okay.
What do you
Bride's over here like, what the fuck can these lunatics come up with more out of a tree?
Well, I only see one lunatic coming up with shit from a tree.
I'm just along for the ride, man.
Okay, so I'm assuming our next thing it is we just need to go talk to Shirra.
Okay.
Shirra.
So-
Are we sure we need to,
I think if anything, we can explain what we saw in the vision and compare it with what was in the prophecy. Obviously, Asenath is going to be going with us, right? And maybe Shirra will have some insight, and if anything, maybe she'll be the one better to speak with Yolanda about it.
Well, if anything, she can spot little holes in what we believe.
Exactly. Yep.
Sort of thing. But then
Maybe she have some insight. Maybe she got an idea. So.
And, she did help us bring a dragon in here once, so we know that she can sometimes be a little willful and go against what perhaps her daughter wants. So
did we ever ask who Asenath's father was?
Asenath's father is at the lane.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, he hasn't been dead that long, not too long, but Probably.
Okay.
I think
maybe he was
probably
longer,
about
okay.
closer to about 60 years. He's been dead. So
We should probably talk with Moore's Ivy also. Okay. I'd kind of like to talk with him about are there other portents about this line of elves? Anything that's sitting out there that we got one that's turned evil, and we've got another who didn't know she was part of the family, and then we've got another who seems quite innocent, but there's a vision.
I don't think she's turned evil.
I have a thought about that. I think that the actual Sinistra, what's her name?
And you said that in the
Sinistra.
What's her name? Whatever, the bad sister. Anyway, I don't think she's actually the entity that is floating around being an asshole. I
Yeah.
think she's actually in a body somewhere else. They may have switched,
Yeah,
or
she's like
maybe
possessed or something like that.
prison,
Yeah.
but I don't believe that the Sintaisha. I don't believe that that Sintaisha, the one that's running around being bad, is actually the
You don't
that
believe
actual
she's
entity.
actually Sintasha. You think she's somebody else.
I would
Yeah.
agree that I think that she has that her spirit has been pushed out, and another one has laid claim to the body.
And Brian's over there shaking his head. Man, these guys.
I have no idea.
A mound of
Toby.
dirt, and they make a mountain. And then I watch
I'm
them
taking
roll.
notes. I'm taking notes.
Yeah. We're writing campaigns for him.
This was a 2-year campaign. Now we're going to make it 4. Anyway.
I thought he said something like 20 episodes.
It took 20 episodes before we got rid of Toby. Shit.
Yeah. Okay, so here's what do we need to do? We have several things that we need to do. We have to talk with Druid Mama and see what we can come up with there. I need 3 days. Okay, guys, if we're going across the ocean, my spell books are paper. What happens with water and paper?
They get moldy.
They get molded. So I would like to create some spell books.
Spitwad.
I'd like to create some spell books out of bronze that would be useful for me. And to do that, I need Kiffy and Gurna in 3 days.
Why me?
Didn't think we were leaving on this vision quest or prophecy quest. I thought we were heading to Pellek first to go check in there and ensure the dragon keeps to her part.
Mm-hmm. Well, what I'm doing is I'm putting out the things that we have to do. We have to talk to Druid Mama. I'd like to get the spell books. Need to go to Bissell and get rid of all these titles. And at that point, if we can get Tomas's lady and soon-to-be child to Instat, where it's safer.
Yarn, just to remind you, you got the resources you have in the city of Greyhawk because of your title.
True.
just letting you know in case if you wanted to get rid of it or not. So
No. At this point, there is nothing there that I absolutely have to have. Okay. That may change. But the key thing at this point is that if I have other obligations, that limits my choice of action.
I will say this, it also, on the other hand, it does provide a certain amount of freedom to do certain things also. So it's like,
and security.
yeah.
So, but
The
I'm
rest
not.
of you-
I'm not planning on giving up my title yet. I was more talking about you.
Oh, I'm yes.
So you don't need to do the spell books at this moment.
Before we get on the boat.
I
Oh,
would
yeah,
think that it would take us at
I think we
least
have some time.
Okay.
making that said boat, because remember, this is a heavily modified boat of your people. All of that would probably take more than 3 days, just that alone. Now, getting the logistic supply set up of what we would need, I have no idea what that would be.
And
So,
where exactly we're going?
yeah, and no one's to
Do we
my
leave?
knowledge.
Do we leave from the East Coast? Do we leave from the West Coast? Do we leave from the Gulf down there in the south of near the Yeoman?
Kind of a good question, but can we choose a nice tropical safe one? Just saying.
Mm.
But
Okay.
I think we're gonna. Yeah, that's so far ahead.
Yeah.
There's no
Okay.
way.
Let's take a census. What do we want to do first? Kiffy, what do you want to do first?
Oh boy. Well, could we end something? let's finish this Bissell thing and then carry on from there.
Then we can be world travelers.
Okay. We can always split the party.
I was reading what Tom was talking about.
Stop giving Brian some hope.
Whoever doesn't go with Kiffy will die, so I'd vote against that option.
Actually, having seen Fortubo walk up and bless Kiffy, I'm like, no, I'm staying with Kiffy.
Not leaving my shield.
Yeah, we're not splitting so that we just give the DM the TPK advantage. It's just not happening.
I mean, I agree. I think we wrap up Bissell really quick, unless the Black Dragon comes back in. I think that's an interesting thing. By the way, I sent you a long text, Brian. I just couldn't get the whisper thing to work.
Oh, okay.
But out of that, I think we need to wrap that up. Wrap Grenna if we have time. I'm torn between wrapping Bissell, which I think will resolve itself. We've put stuff in place. It should wrap up. We've killed the Lord. If anything, it stalls. We wrap Grenna up, so then we can go and do weird shit in the Fae. And
Thank you.
That felt kind of weird.
wait a minute. I didn't say we tie Grenna up or shackle Grenna or any shit like that. I said we wrap that up and then we go forward and then
Right, could be interesting.
Well,
Roll. Yeah. We're not.
how many? What's the timeline for us to get to the opposite side of the world?
We don't know.
It
Yeah.
was
No,
7
no.
months, wasn't it?
We have 7 months. Yeah, 7 months.
7 months.
Yeah.
7 months.
You have 7 months to the day of the eclipse. That's what Yarn found out.
okay.
So 7 days.
Or
So 7 days.
seven.
after the eclipse?
I'm sorry. You have 7
months.
7 months till the day of the eclipse.
Till the day of the eclipse. Okay.
Yeah.
Do we
Right,
know?
That's the day that Asenath steps onto the quay.
Yes.
Okay. I think we need to go talk to Shirra. Get her insight in the vision and prophecy, what we saw, right, in our dreams. And kind of go there. I was kind of looking forward to going back to Pellek. Just as me, Pav, and probably Kellex too, just to check on things and see the dragon do its business. And then request Ket's surrender. But if you
wanna
guys
watch
think
the- You want to watch the dragon poop?
On that,
No,
Okay,
that's
Right.
Timble in his bag.
we all get together and start trooping out to go see Shirra.
Okay. So, yeah,
That's ominous at all.
yeah, you meet Melda in the hallway, and she says that yes, her grandmother is at the tree, and so she leads you all out, and you all make your way back over to where Shirra and some of the early rising druids had already started to do their daily work. Yeah. So as you all once again approach, Shirra greets you. Said good morning. Melda says that you have something to discuss with me, something very urgent.
yes. Might we have a place of silence and protection so that we aren't spied upon?
Oh, of course, yes. She leads you back over to the other side of the island, and once again creates a hedge that encompasses. And she says, "Go ahead."
Well, it seems that 4 of us had
Actually, the hedge, right? It's a living item. I cast Leoman's tiny hut over the top of us.
A bunch of paranoid
I
people.
think I could trust her.
Plants have ears.
I'm still not convinced Toby or an Asian Toby is not somewhere.
I'm sorry. It just sounded like you were about ready to say shit hut.
Shit.
2 words. 2 words. Dispel magic.
No, it doesn't matter.
That was
Whatever makes you happy, speak.
okay. So you create Lehman's tiny hut. Everybody kind of files into it. How many people can fit in this thing?
9.
Nine.
9. Okay, that's pretty good. So that will bring you. Yeah. Okay. So you all are inside this hut, inside of this hedgerow creation. Okay. So she says, "So what is it that you need to discuss with me that requires such secretive magics?"
Well, as
Go,
Tim
Kelly.
was about to explain, 4 of us had an unusual dream last night. It was the same dream, though we all had different perspectives. We were in a church. I can't remember the name of the god we were in.
Celestian.
Yeah,
Far
it was a
Wanderer.
chapel,
The Far
chapel
Wanderer.
of Celestian, and the focus was a hooded person sitting on a bench. It happened to be the same hooded person that we believe that was in the prophecy.
Interesting. So this person is actually here.
I'll let Timble say it.
Yes, the person in the hood that I saw, Sir Keelix saw, was
What
your
they're trying so hard not to say is Asenath.
your granddaughter Asenath.
She looks at you and says, "Are you absolutely sure?"
I am. I know
Yep.
who I saw.
Okay.
The other 2 of the group that were in the vision saw other things, but were not looking at the hooded figure. They were looking to other places.
Okay. So, this is going to be very hard news to break.
You think? There is a certain validity to this vision, given that we had a god walk among us, or at least among 2 of us in the vision.
Really?
Yes.
This
Kiffy,
is true.
would you,
Well, actually, Kiffy being a member of the religion, I'm neutral, but I'm a far wanderer and an ambassador of countries, Lord of all. Elderly one, I saw the Lord of Portubo walk on this plane and bless him.
This is true, Kiffy. Were you
It
were
is.
you were visited by Fortubo himself? Interesting. That does lend some validity to the vision. So I guess I will have to talk with Yolanda concerning this development.
I don't know
Do
if you want
do you have any insight on why it's Princess Asenath? I mean,
She shakes her head no. She's like, no, I'm not. I don't really understand why she would be chosen. But if what you say is true, and I do not doubt you, then we must calculate the dates and times of when this must transpire.
Well,
Yarn?
Morse Ivy says it's 7 months from yesterday.
7 months.
exactly 7
He
months.
showed me one of the toys he has in his tower that does all the
Yes.
Oh no,
Yes.
wizards get up to in their tower.
We're
but
looking at 209 days.
Yeah.
209 days.
Yeah. So.
Clock's ticking.
And everything else that we saw in the orb, the ship, which is of a very, it's definitely not something that the of course we are not a seafaring people here.
It's quite distinct.
Yeah, it was very quite distinct. I know not of where it would originate from.
It's from my people.
Yes. Which means that you must, which means that they would have to be the ones to construct it. And that may take some time.
Construct or modify.
I don't believe that it will take that long. That's a modification, not a new design.
Okay.
And out of that, Brian, I just kind of did like a narrative descriptive, trying to outline, giving her as much detail about the ship as possible, and I rolled a 19 as a performance to
Okay.
maybe help her understand a little bit where it's from and things like that.
I'm going to talk to you in a rhyme.
No, I'm going to say I'm not going to do monorail.
So was
we all know
was that a perception or not a perception, a
it
performance?
should have been
or-
performance. It was a
Okay.
performance, yeah, 19.
Okay, it says nature, so I don't know what that
Oh,
was about.
the nature. Oh, you haven't scrolled all the way down. The nature of the crappy roll. It didn't go across, and
No.
yeah, it came in. That is weird. It came across as nature. All right, let me re-roll it.
Yeah,
My
that was
bad.
pretty weird.
It was performance.
Bloop.
It's 17 now. It
Okay.
came across as performance.
Still,
It
not
was
too
supposed to
bad.
be in nature. Yeah. So
Okay. So,
I'm just trying to give her words that are descriptive to help her understand as much as she can about
okay.
because we don't have TV.
Right. I know, and she understands what you're proposing and what the situation is. She's right now just trying to formulate, probably in her mind, how to talk to Yolanda about it.
Tell that bitch to chill.
So yeah, you can understand why we came to you first to speak with her mother. So
Yes.
Well,
Because we're totally scared of her mom, and you're a much better source of communication.
it's family, right?
Yeah.
You know.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is.
She chuckles a little bit and she says, "No, I understand, and no, I am probably the better person to talk to her about this."
well,
Yeah,
it doesn't have to be done now because we still have to go take care of Bissell.
we've already seen the inside of the jails here, so we don't want to see them again.
That's right. You
They're
guys,
very lovely, by the way.
yeah, you guys did spend the night in jail here. That was pretty good. Yeah. Good times. Good times.
Nice in this campaign.
Yeah. Okay.
They're like
So,
Danish jails. It's not like jail, really.
Did we speak with Moore's Ivy before? See, I mean, I'm just talking about us, given timeline, dealing with a prophecy, visions that affect that prophecy, all that stuff to get his good advice. I mean, he's 1,003. He's seen a few things.
yeah.
He might have a greater grasp of the potentialities of what's going on the other side. I mean,
He also
stepping off.
might be laughing at us.
Yeah, he could be. He could be.
I'm going where? To do what?
Have fun storming the castle.
But we really need to do something that has combat.
Yes, let's go to Bissell.
Well, we could perhaps go to Bissell while
She figures out how she's going to talk to her daughter.
yeah,
Yep.
while Shirra deals with Yolanda.
You know, out of sight, out of mind. She
That
can't
way
really
we
be
don't
that
end up
angry at us if we're not here.
Yeah.
If you give us fair warning and where we come back.
Danger, danger, danger.
Yeah. Should we come back?
Yeah. So Shira says, "Okay, I will go talk with Yolanda this morning, and get."
We will leave
now.
We will leave Evestadt, and we're going to Bissell. We'll be back in a couple of days.
That might be good.
I think so. Keeps us out of jail.
She has a bit of a temper.
Yes.
Wonder where she gets that from.
So she says, "All right. Well, then, safe travels to Pellek. We'll see you in a few. We'll see you in a couple of days, and
Yeah,
hopefully,
Can
I
we
will
not handle it?
have convinced the Queen of the validity of your visions, as well as its correlation with the orb of prophecy. So."
Well,
Thank
in
you.
Elvish, I'm going to let her, or I'm going to say, thank you. We've leaned on you so much, and you've been perhaps our greatest friend here in Celene. I thank you.
She smiles and says, "Well, I'm glad that I could have helped you. You have actually helped me immensely by returning my granddaughter." And she just looks over to Melda, to us. So I consider ourselves even in that regard. But I will always be here to help you. I see the goodness, and I see the purpose of your group. It reminds me of a group that I was once in many, 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 many years ago, when I was an adventurer.
We may have to hear that story sometime over some drinks.
I would love to tell it to you. It doesn't end well, but it does end, and I'm at least here. So,
I was to say, it wasn't so bad that you didn't make it. So
yes. All right. So,
Brian, as everybody kind of casually leaves the dome and the security sphere,
right.
that would be where I would approach with what I typed and hoping to have come out.
Okay.
Brian's like, shit, I gotta read now. Fuck.
Yeah, thanks, Dick.
Well, the best part is I rolled an 11 because I said, hey, brought your granddaughter back, and by the way, soon you're having grandchildren. I actually rolled and saved from saying,
Soon you're having grandchildren?
With Kiffy, Pellek and Melda.
I was going to say Kellex and Kiffy are not going to have grandchildren.
No.
That'd be funny. Jenner-
Okay.
This took a turn.
I do think this is a plan.
Okay. She says, okay, I believe you could just talk with one of my colleagues here, and they will be able to provide you with that box. Yes.
Would you bless it for me?
I suppose I could. Sure.
Brian's like, where is this going to go?
Yeah.
He probably doesn't want to know.
I have a box blessed by the Archdruid.
I don't know if he's laughing more at the idea or at the audacity of some of the shit that I said in it. So.
It is pretty audacious. I got to give you that.
And no more alcoholic monster drinks for you.
Oh, he probably just wants to throw it at the tree on the other side, thinking that it needs to be rejuvenated.
That's better.
Okay. So.
Oh.
Yeah. So everybody exits the security zone.
Hey, wait a minute. That said like a medic that was never in an MI battalion. We're all about security and making sure.
You're right. You're right. I was mechanized infantry. I was just completely. Yeah.
We're going to wrap you in triple strand if you don't watch out.
We're going to bring in Carl on your head.
Mechanized. There we go. All right. E43. Let's roll.
Okay. So you all are going to go ahead and head to Pellek?
And we're off like a turd of hurdles.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm assuming. Are we going by Griffin? Yes.
No, we were going to transport.
We don't need no stinking griffins.
No, actually, Yarn can handle.
Because you got the thing now.
Yeah, he can.
Give me a minute. Exactly a minute.
I'm counting.
And I'll send us back to Pellek.
Everybody's looking at their sundial watches.
Yeah.
And at 59 seconds, I bump him. See if he makes his concentration check.
Oh, geez.
What is that, con?
Are you really going to roll that?
Is that a
concentration? Oh no, Constitution is, or our concentration check is. This is gonna be funny
because it was just damage. So you can't damage your fellow players, Ed. So
piss off, bitch.
Oh.
Nice. Yeah, you just slightly bump him, but it really does not break his concentration enough to be able to disrupt the spell. And then in front of you opens up this absolutely beautiful swirling sort of doorway. And yeah. Yeah, it's really nice. It's rounded.
It's like a Stargate, but different.
It's like a Stargate, but kind of different. Yeah. It has swirling purple and green and silver light spills from it. And there you go.
Okay. Why should I trust this? Because all the porting I've done has been through a circle on the ground. That's strange.
Well, at least we're not covered in gravy.
Because Brian and I talked.
You throw sausage and gravy on your face, you'll feel better.
Well, Brian and I talked about this and determined it was a Stargate.
Yeah.
Well, I'm just trying to figure out sausage gravy porno. So.
People are put into a hole.
An apron with a
I can leave him. I can leave him.
Oh, so we're gonna split the party and leave me behind with a dragon and elves?
No.
Yeah, you'll end up in the jail.
We're going in.
Okay.
We're spotted by a tree.
And as you all of course remember so so vividly. Portal travel, it can be kind of strange and a little weird. You have this weird feeling, but you do end up landing um, unharmed, unscathed in the courtyard at the castle oversight in Pellek. And of course, there is a lot of movement going on. There are, of course, troops and soldiers and other people who are coming and going, and they see this portal open up, and then you guys kind of spill out of it like one by one. And a great cheer goes up amongst them when they see that the Lord Protector Calyx has once again shown his face amongst the within just a few moments. You're immediately ushered into that large meeting room that you have been in several times, and there you find Silvir, your elven the elven ambassador, and the Duke of Amariel is, and he is, once he sees that we walk in, he immediately stands up, walks over and shakes each of your hands and says, "Oh, it is so good to see you. It's been some time. We have some wonderful news. We have pushed back the Ket to Shajé. We have pushed them beyond the city. So that is wonderful. We have freed the city of Shajé. So this is one more victory for us as we press on to true light."
That is good. And actually, Brian, how long have we been gone?
Roughly? Oh, wow.
Just an estimate.
I'm betting we're 20 days in at least.
Yeah.
We're 20,
That's
25.
what I was thinking at least almost a month.
Almost a month, yeah. Yeah, okay. It's been a while since you guys left. So
we did get the news that you sent to Celene. So that is good news. And now we're here, and hopefully, because wait a minute, I guess that's a question. Did the dragon come with us?
You didn't say. You didn't say, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I don't think so.
Well, she can fly. She can get there quickly.
Right.
So, and now we're hoping to finally end this. I think you did get my sending message that we are bringing an unexpected ally to help.
Yes, I did get that. Thank you.
Okay.
So you are here to assume command
at this time.
Oh,
we're here to end. We're here to end the war.
We're here to finally end this war. Yep.
Okay, this is grand.
How goes it in Pellek?
Oh, Pellek.
I mean, I see spirits are high, but
yes, and that was one thing you noticed when you dropped in, is that a lot of the walls have scaffolding where they've made the repairs from when the dragon attacked. So you see that a lot of that has been taken care of. You did notice that there were a lot more foreign troops here. You noticed that there were at least a company of dwarves. You saw elves, of course, elves from Celene, elves from the Vesvi. There are, of course, humans and gnomes and halflings from the south have also are there as well. But it does definitely seem that the tide is turned and morale is extremely high.
That is good news. That is good news. Okay. I look at my. What's that?
Check roll 20.
Oh.
Not you.
Well, you said roll 20.
Yes. Ryan.
Yes. Oh, yeah. They have already. There is scaffolding that is already up, and they've already started to fix the. Of course, the roof hasn't been replaced yet, but they have got the walls built, so the walls are up. but they have not actually reconstructed the the conical tower that goes on top of it. So yeah.
This is why we were going to bring the griffins, because we were all going to fly out there and watch the dragon do its thing.
Yep.
So,
Um,
All right, Cat.
Prince Val, where exactly is he deployed?
Val is at the front.
Good, good, good. The funding for the war effort come through from Xi'an that we sent?
Yes, it did. We also had a substantial donation from Valuna. And we also had a very unexpected donation from the yeomanry in the south. So we were very, very pleased to have gotten that. That definitely helped pay for the rearmament of some of the troops that we were able to free who had been imprisoned by the Ket. So many, yeah. So we
look at Lord Tomas and nodding my thanks.
Well, and I looked at him, I say Silvir, and I said, please, Silvir, pass word to my father and my brother that we appreciate their contributions. I'm intentionally addressing him as Silvir because we are equal rank as a lord and an ambassador, and I just did a comparison. We are of equal rank, so we are peers.
Okay. Of course, he readily accepts accepts that, and he says, "I was kind of wondering. I know that the Lady Ilia has been placed in exile.
She has.
Yeah, was kind
She is
of wondering the possibility. Queen Zan is planning on actually making a state visit to Pellek with next week. I wanted to pass that in front of you. I know that we haven't really had a chance to chat, and being that you are the Lord Protector of this realm, having a foreign regent visit might be a little problematic. I mean, of course, I can always talk with the Queen to see if she would rethink, but she definitely did want to see her troops and see how the war effort was progressing.
I think the greater concern is how this next week will play out. I believe
agree. I'm
that
thinking any kind of dignitary during this time is probably not a good idea.
I was thinking the same.
Yeah, I would hate to push her off. Maybe at another date.
Muted.
Now we have things afoot, as it were.
Understandable. So. Okay. I'm sure she will understand and agree. To maybe a state visit down the line might be better. I think she was just excited about the whole possibility of victory and wanted to kind of be a part of that. But I do understand. I know you all are busy.
And forgive me for asking, who's Zan? I'm sorry. Is that Vesby?
Yeah,
I've already got pulled up. So hold on a second.
Okay.
Because I was doing a perception. Do I think so? Queen Zan is the queen of the Vespi Forest, right?
Yes.
And she's the cousin of Sil, who we're talking to.
Yes.
And I rolled a perception check based off of that. That's where I was going. I was going to bump in, but that gives you some background, Bob. Do I detect anything with a 13? I know it's kind of a shitty roll. Is he like gloating, overzealous for her attendance, or is this a good thing, bad thing?
No.
Aligned to what we know. You know what I mean?
No, there doesn't seem to be any underlying nefariousness.
Okay.
He was just kind of wanting to make sure that Kellex understood that the request had been placed, and she really wanted to be present. But of course, if there is no Lord Protector or a regent to accept her, then she would probably understand. That's why he was asking about Lady Ilia, as she was going to be returning to Pellek,
Partially
because
known.
Yeah,
Um,
please pass on my gratitude that she wishes to come visit. However, let's see what happens. Yes, as Timble said, in the next week.
okay,
she said a week to come out, right?
yes, it'd be next week, the following week.
Right.
Lord Kellex, I think we overlook the significance of this situation. Having the lord or lady of a particular army visiting, we should receive her accordingly.
Again, let's see what takes place in the next week, because we have time. We have time. How would the Queen Zale arrive? In what manner?
Zan,
Zan. Sorry.
I'm going to paste it in the chat so you got their whole background. Stand by.
I think I would rather she come when we are standing in the thorn. We're watching the yellow bellied, cheating, nasty Kedians walking on their own dirt.
Don't hold back, Timble.
Well, Timbo, I agree, but in this sense, I think she wants to be there to watch herself as they succumb to our power.
We can set up a dog and pony show. It's not hard.
Again, how would she be arriving? Portal, Griffin,
Yeah,
horseback.
most
Yeah.
likely it would be a portal. That would probably be the easiest way for her to train. Yeah, she is also a very powerful sorceress, so it isn't probably too far out of the ability. She may have. She does definitely have her ways, so but she also understands protocol, and she did not want to step on any toes, or also damage the alliance that has been forged. She looks at it as being very advantageous, not just for you but also for her, because before there was that rift between Celene and the Vespi, and now that has been mended. So she does not want to, but that's why the request was sent.
Okay.
That'd be interesting if you could get Yolanda and Zan here. That would be really interesting.
Actually, Brian, that's what I was going with. I was like, wow, looking at this, I totally forgot about that character. So I was like, because she doesn't have her own entry, it's a reference in the line of another entry. I'm like, man, I've heard that name. If we could get them together, this solidifies the forest and the elves for a potential battle that we have to go where we're going to save a tree, the sister tree of the tree of life.
And what battle you think is going to take place?
Dude, we go everywhere and there's a battle. What are you talking about?
It's the last time we had a fight.
However, there's been a lot of political intrigue, which is a fight in its own sense, which I personally love because it keeps Yarn out from casting spells, and that's even funnier.
I think the last battle you guys had was with Lothar. Yeah.
When I burned everything down.
When you burnt down the inn, yeah, that was good.
Months ago?
Yeah.
I still think, you're agreed. It would be great to get Yolanda and Zane together. Maybe this is something they could get together when Ket is finally defeated and we get them to surrender.
I would agree, except the rift between the Vespi and the Celene always seems to be how they protect their realms. And this is the one time they can show a unified front, how they work together.
Mayhap when we take the Thornward.
Yeah, well, I think their soldiers, their people are here, so they're gonna see that through them,
and
how well they are working together.
This war's not over. We've only
Yep.
driven them,
Yep.
what, half of
Out-
the way? Let's
out of
see if
character-
we get them to the Thornward, and they can happily come in as we're fighting in the Thornward.
Yep.
I
agree.
I view this as that Elrond sending his sons to Waterdeep moment. You know what I mean? Like, she wants to see it. She wants to prove that her stance is better. I think that's a great ploy. So
Elrond didn't have sons. He only had one daughter.
no, Elrond had 2 sons.
Tell me you're nerdy without telling me you're nerdy.
Elrond and Elros were twins.
Who's their dad? Mike, who's Elrond's kid? Who are their dad?
Who can Google faster?
Starts with an E, and he was put in the stars.
Arendelle.
Arendelle. Oh, thank you. Never mind. I'll stand corrected. That's what happens when you bring up Arendelle the Mariner in Elrond's house, right?
Now, what's Elros's claim to fame?
Hey, Keith, these
Thornward.
are your messages.
He was the first king of Numenor, and he chose humanity.
Idiot.
I think we need to get our battle gear ready and find our way to the front.
Yep.
So,
So I'm going to pass on to Silvir the plan. Like to have this done as soon as possible. So I'm going to eventually make contact with, and I can never get her name. Is it Aristovax?
Erevis
Arizvax, yeah.
Aristovax. Okay. I'm going to reach out her through the item that she gave me
Mhm.
and see if she can meet us in I don't know, is there a good place to meet near Pellek or at Pellek?
I don't know that we could meet at, what is that, Veliseret Keep in the Little Mark, which is not too far from Chargé, and then we can go north and reclaim True Light.
Yep.
I think that might be an easier.
What was the keep called?
It's, if you're looking at the map, you've got the castle, the red and white livery, and to the right of it, it says March of the Bissell. Right there is Veliseret Keep.
Oh, Veliseret Keep. Okay.
And in the Little Mark in the Swordfells. So we can meet there, and directly north up the Watchtower Road is Chazé.
Okay.
Right.
Well, as far as I heard, Chargé is already liberated, so why don't we
Yes.
go there?
Yeah, Shajé has actually already been liberated.
Oh, I thought that's where the line was at. Is it True Light where the line's at?
Yeah, True Light. Yeah, right now, like, yeah. So just north of Shajé is enemy territory, but
Okay.
Kippy, my argument to be, depending on how the dragon depends to present itself, if she comes in human form, yeah, that's great. If she comes in dragon form, we want to maybe approach her a little bit away from everybody.
Yeah, everybody might be a little skittish and start firing at her. So
come
Yeah,
in from the north.
I don't know. I just that Veliseret Keep is like way the fuck far south. So
But she,
well, that was the point of coming here on Griffin, so we can kind of go there because I'm assuming I don't know. Where'd Yarn go? Can Yarn actually teleport us to that location? No.
no.
You can only go somewhere that
No,
you set up
Ben.
a portal to.
I'll tell you what. I think at this point we're just going to have to just tell her exactly what we want done, and then just go from there. Because I don't think we have. I mean, it'll take us weeks to get there, right there, Brian, on horseback.
It'll take you it'll take you a few days to get there.
Yeah, a few
where
days.
exactly, Brian, where exactly is the tower that we got the monorail from?
The telescope. Okay, so that was actually north of True Light.
North of True Light?
Yeah. So that was in
Just south.
yeah. So because you
Yeah,
all
that's right.
you
We
all
brought it in.
if you remember,
Yeah.
you had it in True Light. That's when
Yeah,
they that's when Toby caused the riot.
The ruckus.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The
I thought
Yeah.
perhaps we could go there, which would be close by, but yeah,
Yeah,
You're-
it's too far north.
yeah, it's north. Unless we just want to land in enemy lands there, but we don't have a means of traveling so fast at the moment.
So are we kind of agreed? We'll just have to sit here in Pellek and then just kind of
Well-
give direction on what we want Aristavax to do for us.
Okay. Yeah, so you can direct her to targets. You can either use the stone that she gave you, the communication stone, or
Yep.
you can wait for her to. I mean, you can either have her come to Pellek, but like you said, it might be a little over. She
Yeah,
might need
forgive
to
me, I was-
appear and walk in. So
Yeah.
Forgive me for this, but I was actually thinking that maybe we give Tommy his little chance for a ride on a dragon from Pellek to the front. That had crossed my mind.
Who's Tommy?
Tomas.
Tomas.
That
Oh.
yeah, stick in the ass.
Where's she go?
Make sure
I-
Tommy's in.
Do we want to try to go and get the griffins and bring them? We could send someone back there to do it.
Split the party.
mean- Well, no. I'm not saying split us. Why do we have to do the work? I'm quite certain that Silvir could request on our behalf for them to be flown in and brought to us.
That is true, because that's now I'm starting to remember we weren't going to be able to get the Griffins in through the portal.
Okay, that's all. We're also assuming that we have a right or a privilege of those griffins. It wasn't a one-time thing.
It had been talked about with them beyond the one-time plan that we had talked about coming here with them.
Okay, I know we were talking about it between us, but I don't think we were talking about it with the elves.
I thought we
We
had
could
it.
just, if anything, we can just make the requests and then see what Silvir comes back with, and we can wait here. How long does
How
it take to fly from Celene to here, Brian? A couple of 4 hours, maybe.
About 4 hours. Yeah.
Okay.
Where are we going? The Lisseret Keep?
No, we're going to Chazé. The
Shall
good dwarf
Okay.
pointed out that
Yep.
it is actually under our command, and that would be closer to the front.
Roger that.
Come on, Yarn.
Now-
You want to throw fireballs from the back of a griffin?
No. No.
Really?
No.
Yeah.
Don't
Okay.
you remember? He's the one that had problems riding one.
No.
Oh, right.
I had no problems riding one. I was the one that was catching our dwarf before he plummeted to his death.
No, that was me.
So, real quick, what town are we in?
What
At the
time?
moment, I think we're in Pellek.
Pellek.
Okay,
Yeah.
Pellek. Got it. Thank you.
Yeah. You are in Pellek.
Oh no, sir, that was Timble I saved. I'm sure people all look alike.
Because I jumped at the dragon.
All right. So, okay, that's what I'm proposing. We ask because it would be good for us to be at the front when the dragon comes.
Fairly safe on the backs of
Yeah.
griffins.
So, as you all are standing around talking with Silvir, a messenger arrives and hands him a scroll or a scroll case, and he opens it and he's looking over and it's
That's
like,
used for peace.
Execute order 666.
yeah, 666. Oh boy. And he looks at it, and you can just see that like the color in his face just kind of leaves, and he just places it down on the table, and he says, "We might have a problem."
We might have more than one, but which is the one you've got?
It seems that Prince Val has been captured.
Mm.
Ah, all right.
What? Okay, so I'll reach for the letter.
Okay. I'm going to start writing out the requisition for Griffins right now. That's
Okay.
what I'm doing.
Yep.
Is there any other details besides Prince Val's been captured?
It said that that he was actually taken by Zeif troops. So that's something. It was a Zeif unit that overwhelmed his scouting party, and he was taken.
Do we know where they were located at?
Yes. Let me pull my map back up real quick.
While you're
On the
pulling
map,
that up,
on the map.
hey Brian, does my brother have any kids?
I hadn't really thought about it. We could roll some dice on that and see what happens.
All right. What do you want me to
Hey,
roll?
Brian.
Yes.
Bubbles have any brothers and sisters?
Actually, yes. He was remember, he was part of a litter, and he was the runt, and that's why he was left.
Who,
Does
Bubbles?
Greta
Yeah.
have any brothers and sisters?
Do you have
Do
any
they have
brothers
one?
and sisters? Wait,
Greta.
no, Grinna actually does not have any brothers or sisters.
Where did
Yarn
I
ha-
go? Back.
Not
Did-
that
did
she
it-
knows of.
Did Yarn have any that lived?
Yarn has at least 2 brothers.
Yeah, actually, Yarn has a brother and a sister.
And a
You have 2
wife.
brothers? I don't
Two
remember
brothers.
that. Okay.
I have my older one, and the one that gave my nickname.
Oh.
So what
okay.
do you want me to throw, Brian? I'll throw some dice while you're doing some research there.
Okay,
Keep us
so
moving.
let's say that there is going to be at least a good 30% chance that he has children. So let's go ahead and
So
roll
this-
that.
Does not have children. Does not have children.
No
All right,
kitties.
never mind.
Okay,
Damn it.
good deal.
I was gonna farm him for my next squire, so
Oh, okay,
and then kill his kid off, and then kill his bloodline off.
nice. Wow,
I knew that
wow.
was where Ed was going.
That's just
I
so.
knew it.
That's just beautiful.
I'm going.
Guys are so.
This is
Beautiful chaos.
this is a 2 wisdom save at the beginning of the game. So just kiss my ass, right? So
That's a lot of kisses. I don't even have that much time.
Hey, Yarn.
I'll,
Yeah.
I'll spread the cheeks to make it more efficient.
Okay, so from what you know, from the communication, was that he was scouting ahead with his company into the barony of Night Watch, which is just south of True Light. So they were actually probing the enemy lines to see if there is a weak point, and they ended up stumbling upon a full company of soldiers from Zeif. He was captured. You do not know where he has been taken. No one does. So that's
Okay.
When was this? When did this happen?
Of 4 days ago. It takes a little while to get things
Oh,
back.
Some news is important enough that it should come quicker. Damn.
Yeah.
Oh well, it's all about mode of travel
But we
and how
got
that gets
Yeah.
there.
we would have if we would have stayed in Celene.
So they all.
Lyon, Sacre bleu,
We're-
Sacre
we
bleu.
became French. Oh,
Whoa!
Yarn.
I shall punch you again
Yarn.
a second time.
Yarn, is there any way for you to scry to see if you can get his detail or his location?
Well, let's see. Yeah.
What's the spell? Oh, do you throw it? Ooh,
Crying.
I haven't looked at Scry in a long time, so give me a second.
Oh, I have no modifiers.
What's
you
that
have
mean?
luck. You have luck.
That means we might get lucky.
Oh, gotcha.
Might get
All right.
lucky.
I'll try it.
Ooh,
Okay, so
a 16. That's not bad.
That's not bad. No, I take that roll. Thank goodness yarn's finally being useful.
damn. Okay. All right. So, being that the target does not realize that it is being scried upon, it does not get a save. So, that's the beautiful part about it. It's not like it's trying to hide. Yeah, I don't think Val wants to be hidden from scrying. So, yeah. So, from what you have, you were able to see, is that he is right now in. Passing through the burned out city of Thornwood, almost to the border with Ket.
Well, they got there quick.
Yep.
Well, they're 4 days in front of us.
They are moving him quickly. Yeah, and I mean he got captured right outside of True Light. So yeah.
Hey, Timble, this might be a chance to get your ring back.
Well, real quick, Brian, they're traveling main road though, right?
Yep.
Well, I will say this is interesting optics, given we're looking to be taking the youngest daughter halfway around the world. And then we have the Lord Protector of Bissell, the Chancellor, the High Wizard of, the
Protector of the realms.
the newest Lord of the Realm. And then we have the Captain of the Guard and a dwarf.
A dwarf.
If we go in personally, then I mean,
okay, wait. When you downplay the dwarf, you mean the chosen one?
I don't know that we have titles for him. He's not taking a title. We've never shoved it on him.
And I will give him one. I will give him one because I'm the only one that's seen it.
The dwarf.
No,
The dwarf.
he is touched by Fortubo.
Lovingly stroked by Fortubo.
He's the dwarf. Yeah, too bad it didn't happen in Los Angeles.
And when he means by the dwarf, he means capital T.
Okay.
Does that make him Corey Feldman or Corey Haim?
In my culture, the giving of nicknames is common. However, when you give a nickname, you also have to give a gift. What gift are you giving?
I'm not of your.
I am. I'll sing a song about him. Kippy, he's off and Kippy.
Gift. That means something of value to someone else.
You're lucky I can't make your mom jokes. Anyway, what town did we say they were moving out of, Brian?
I want to hear what Timble, his suggestion was going to be. Because are we on another rescue mission?
Yeah, I think so. And I think the optics of us just immediately going, hopefully will give us, again, a little more love from Yolanda.
Well, I think you're right, because we're supposed to be doing the heroic things, right? Hey, the prince is captured. Let's go rescue the prince. Fuck all the commoners. They can stab each other with pitchforks. But we're going to go rescue the nobility.
So we're going to ask Silvir to send a message.
No, that's not it at all. We have to go rescue the protector's brother-in-law.
Future brother-in-law. We don't know that yet.
Oh no, I think she's already planned her wedding.
I think she's picked out her dress.
What was that,
I think she's already planned her wedding.
My question is, when she yells, "Oh God," what God does she yell to?
You're gonna have. She said.
Kimball.
All right, so I think asking Silvir to reach out to the Queen, asking for some griffins. I think she needs to know that that's her son, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Are we
that her son's
telling
been
her?
captured, and we need assistance, the griffins, to go rescue him.
Okay.
Are we telling
Now.
her right now that he's been captured?
Yes.
Okay.
I think that will hurry the request.
Not
And
only
Brian,
that, holding that information in reserve would not be to our advantage.
I am
Yeah,
asking the question. I am not going either way. But if we were to solve the problem before she knew there was a problem, I don't know. But this is going to be a tough one. I'm
I
certain.
think it's a little different from
Look at it
the
this way.
Little
We
Princess.
might get reinforced.
I know.
You might get more griffins.
That is
so
my
I
worry.
say,
Is the
if you got a
reinforcement
problem,
going to
ooh,
be-
I'll solve it. Check out the beat while the bard he revolves it. Ice, ice, baby.
that reinforcement could be Moore's ivy on the back of a griffin.
Brian, can I cast Magic Mouth on a person?
Nope, I looked that up.
Where were you going to
That's
put the
way ahead of
mouth? Like, is it going to look like that scene out of like Ace
It'll be
Ventura
a
where he's like grabbing his
Monty Python scene, okay? Monty Python.
Okay.
It's gonna look more like that orange. Remember those fruit back in the '90s where they put eyes?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah.
the annoying orange or
I
something.
was thinking more of the ass trumpet, but
Well, I'll play the ass trumpet. I'll blow it. If we got
the ass
1,000 followers, I'd play a trumpet with my butthole. Anyway, Brian, what town did you say we were? We were moving out of Thornwood and going to where?
No, you're in Pellek.
Sorry, yet.
No. I just got yelled at. So anyway, Brian, where did we see in the vision where he was at?
Okay, he was passing
Thank you,
through.
Stephanie.
He was passing through Thornwood.
Thornwood heading up to Averon up the Iron Fay Road or Ironfa Road. Sorry.
Yeah.
That's an assumption.
I think they're speeding him along. I think that would be the path I would do. So, and for the record, I just was told I can't play a trumpet with my butthole, so I'm mad.
But being Zeif, are they really going to go that way, or do they have, once they get within the Bramblewood, are they going to be going to La Pola, or are they going to bypass it and go straight to Zeif?
You're not
Well,
really.
that's the question, right?
Yeah.
That's why I think Averon and then the next town up, which is Darris, are the real two tells of where they're going. Because first of all, Darris is where they're going. That's where I would meet them. If we could launch forward and get there, they're moving to us, and therefore we set up an ambush for them.
You also you have to think that depending on how far back into their lines they go, they may have the ability to teleport him to wherever they want to teleport him to.
I completely agree with that, and at some point that's an objective or a problem. The thing is with the map, if we were to think Game of Thrones-esque, right? We know these roads are there for a reason because it's shitty terrain. They want to be able to move people fast. The Irifar Road, it's Averon and then Darris. If Averon's where I think they're going to teleport him, but that's just where I'm at.
And
You said they're already north of Thornwood, right?
Correct.
As Keelix referenced, we might be going back to a certain dwarven hold that we all know so well, and I'll stop eating the acid balls. But yeah.
All right. So I'm going to ask Silvir to pass on our request and tell him to let Queen Yolanda know why we need the griffins.
Post haste.
Yep, post haste.
And I think we all should get on our footing as quick as we can.
A Griffin squad would not go in this.
No, but depends on how we fly.
You can always use them as a
I guess my question is, once we get the griffins, be 4 hours. Once the request has been made, how long would it take for us by Griffinback to get to Averand? Or is it Avernand?
Hey, Pav, I'll put another one out there. Why wait on a griffin? Let's just call the dragon to fly us there.
I don't know. Can she carry all of us?
She's an ancient. That's a great point, Brian. Scale size. I don't think we've ever established that when she's in her true dragon form.
Right.
Does that make sense?
freaking huge.
Freaking huge. Yeah.
It's not Elegon, and he was able to carry 8. So
I got nothing. I think the Griffins are the best thing, because if they can get here in 4 hours, the dragon can get here in 4 hours if she is amenable.
I think
she doesn't have anything. She doesn't have a hook. Val does not have a hook on her.
No, but she can help us get to where we need to, because she's going to go to the front anyway at some point.
Well, that's my take, right? If she drops us and then attacks backwards onto the front, therefore attacking their backward lines, which is what I would tell her, it gives us coverage and creates chaos if we're creating an operation behind enemy lines.
I don't know, Brian, can Arisivax carry us, all of us?
That's a really good question. And let's see, do I have
he's going to pull out a book.
I may have to pull out a book. Do I have?
I think that's the first time you've ever pulled out a book.
Russ, to your point that she doesn't have, or Val doesn't have any connection to her, he most assuredly does. That's Yolanda's child.
Yeah, I got that.
Yeah, but the optics of helping Yolanda's child when Yolanda's help, it works.
Okay, I see where you're going, but the dragon also has other plans.
No, I still like the idea of the Griffins. An easy escape once we get the Elven Prince.
Yeah, because I'm done with teleports for the day.
See, now I'm curious about the dragon.
Okay, so I did not have a copy of the book that I was looking for, but I do have it digitally through D&D Beyond, so that's good, at least. Let me try to find some information for you.
And she's a bronze, right?
Yes. Yeah.
Yep.
Ancient copper. Oh, that's copper. There we go.
Bronze, dragons. Yeah, I actually have a copy.
She has a strength of 29.
Yeah.
I'm looking at it too. No, I'm
Doesn't
not.
really give any indication on how much.
Yeah, they really don't. It's really kind of sad. So may just have to make a command decision on this one, which isn't a big issue, really.
I'm just trying to get something on size for you here, Brian, real quick. See if I can find anything. Like, what's her template look like when you place her? How big is she? You know what I mean?
Yeah,
She was pretty big.
To a point, some of us are smaller than others. We're light.
It's okay. You're smaller. Okay.
Okay, I'm going to go ahead and just say that she can carry you. But she is going to be slowed. So it is going to take a little bit more time.
So it says here in D20 SRD, a character with a 29 strength is considered a light load is 466 pounds or less. A heavy load is up to 1,400.
Okay.
And I'll throw another caveat. She's 85 plus feet long and has a wingspan of 40 to 72 feet. roughly the length of an Olympic swimming pool and the width of a shipping container.
Okay.
So is that something you're saying she'll be slowed, but she can carry all of us?
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
Ooh.
Griffins will be faster.
No, I think a dragon intimidating, dropping us off, and independently working behind the scenes, so we don't have this happy bullshit again, fucking flaming everything, or what is an
I
ancient
just
brass
think the
dragon?
Griffins because it'd be a faster escape once we get the prince. Because when we're going to try to escape to the basically the battle lines through through cat lines.
Right, and we've got a dragon that's in front of us, blowing the shit out of it and creating chaos. We can move through it. Concept.
But that also draws magical fire too.
Well, that's what the dragons are for.
Well,
Fuck that bitch.
I was actually thinking that we should move up through like Evernant, which isn't in the direct line of things. It may be occupied, but it should be lightly defended at best. Crossing over into the Bramble and coming around to Everend that way. Or
Well,
Evernant.
we still haven't figured out if they've reached Everand yet. So I think what is the rough distance between Everand and Thornwood? Do we know that, Brian?
We can get in front of them. That's my point.
I'm with you. I think if they left Thornwood and we get them, if we're waiting for them in Everand, then we're in a good spot. How far is distance is it to Everand, Brian? It looks like it's about maybe a 4-day travel on road.
No, it's a lot less than that.
Okay.
I mean, they got from True Light to Thornwood in 4 days. So,
Yeah.
And that's not even a direct shot.
Yeah, I got you. Fair enough. And that's why they're moving along the roads, because they move quicker, right? So.
Yeah.
But they're also moving against the flow.
Yeah, I think make way for or make way or we'll kill you is a great modifier there. But
well, that could be said both ways. We don't know what's coming down that road going to the front either.
All right.
Well,
so dragon or griffins?
I'm on board with dragon, and we go to Averand. Honestly, I think we move to Darris, move into the crowd, and work our way south to Averand.
Griffins.
Mike, Iffy?
I'm Team Griffin.
All right, fair enough.
Brenna?
I'm Team Buck.
I waved. Let's move it forward.
Why can't she come with us with the dragon?
Griffins are good.
All right.
Though
So they're
the idea of us being paratroopers jumping off the dragon.
Do you have a parachute?
I'm pretty sure I can come up with one.
I was thinking about ski lifts.
You did know she said come up with one.
Oh, no.
For the record, I just told a story about riding the fucking T-lifts with a snowboard and being drug up a mountain. No, that's a bad idea.
I'm small.
Being drug up a mountain is the worst experience in my life. Definitely physically.
All right.
Okay. So the message has been sent to instead to see if there is a possibility of getting the griffins to be brought to your location. Okay.
Somewhere I imagine Vulcans like Mr. Spock with the thing in his ear going, we got a message. We need to send griffins to.
Yeah. So it does take a couple of hours before you finally get an answer. And the answer is not exactly what you were hoping for, but at least it does give you a little bit of a possibility. And the answer that was received was that the last flight of Griffins was dispatched to Misty Vale in Bissell to press the attack on Shajay. So they are actually in flight and will not arrive in Misty Vale until probably later that evening. Later the evening that you are in. Because right now it's still morning. Because you guys teleported like around 6:30 in the morning.
And we do know what the Misty Vale is, so it's not like we can meet them at Misty Vale.
Yeah, it's a little bit of a trek, but it's not. I mean, it's not like it's terribly long, but you're still you're still looking at probably a day and a half of travel.
Trying to get to Misty Vale, we would need a guide, because that's the whole point of Misty Vale, is having the fog there and people ending up in places like the Feywilds.
The fun parts.
Given a certain person who's involved with us, or Dryad, I'm not going into the Misty Hills. Just not doing it.
Ain't happening. Okay.
Are we going to just try to mad ride up to Shajay, or are we going to try to contact the dragon and see if she'll take us that far?
We are, at this point, we are behind the curve. Horses, go.
Yeah. So excited.
Dude, I
I
never
just
saw
said,
a
wait,
horse
get a glass of water. Did I miss anything?
No.
Okay.
Okay, so that's what your is that the plan?
All right. Unless somebody else has a better idea.
I have better ideas, but that's okay. It's the
You have
restaurant.
ideas, things that will actually work.
When he means better, he means other ideas.
Nah, he means
Right.
his ideas.
So are we going to ride hard to Shashay?
We can ride till we kill the horses.
No, we
We
can't.
don't have to conserve horses.
I like the horses better than I like some of the people in this party.
Point taken.
Oh,
resources at this
man.
point.
All right. So we're heading
Let's
off. Let's move.
Okay, so you all are given.
No, we were already off.
You're given fresh horses and provisions, and you all quickly race out of the gates of Pellek and start making your way to Ellis.
We need a remuda of horses as well. Not just one set. 3 sets of horses for each of us.
Okay. Your pony expressing the hell out of this one?
Yes.
Okay.
I thought of it more of like the true gritting the hell out of the horses.
Okay. Okay, so it is going to take you about probably 3 days to get to Shajay. Yeah.
Wait. I thought we were just going to meet the Griffins as far as out as we can. Was that the plan?
Well, the thing is that you have to go through the Misty Hills, and Tim will already.
If you read about the Misty Hills, you'll see why we don't want to go into them.
Hey, real quick, if we enter the Fey realm, can they deposit us at a location and use that as a teleport service?
Yeah, but we don't know when we'd show up.
When we show up. Yeah.
Yeah, most likely. I mean, they could easily put you wherever you need to be, where you want to be.
What'd you say, Albie?
I said you first.
Well, as ambassador, of course. Hey, by the way, for the record, I'm getting text over. My son made his first apple pie tonight from scratch.
Oh, that's nice.
He said the pictures actually don't look bad. I said, trim the edges before you bake it, and he's like, yeah, fuck that. My fingers are too big. I'm like, yeah, well,
Um. Also, I'm going to ask Silvir what he thinks would be the fastest way to the front.
He says,
To get it.
"Well, without without griffins, it is going to take you some time." But actually, I think you guys are already gone, aren't you? I mean, I already had you out the front gate.
yeah, we're out the door. We can't retroact.
Yeah, I
We
was like,
already did it.
yeah, I think that trigger's already been pulled. So,
Well, I don't
Yeah.
know because Felix asked the question. Pav was like wondering where we were at from the water.
Yeah,
you should-
sorry. Since I had to go get some water, did we get the griffins, or they okayed it, or?
No, they didn't. So it's too slow. They're already deployed somewhere else. That's the problem.
Into Misty Vale, and then
That's okay.
yeah,
And that's why we're on horses running to Shajay.
Okay.
okay. And so, like I said,
I say,
Yeah.
say call the dragon. I say call the dragon and meet us at Shajay. Pick us up there, and even if it's at quarter speed, we are doing better than people over land.
All right. I'm calling Aristavax and see and ask her if she can meet us in Sajay.
Yo,
And I'll
Rich,
explain.
what you doing?
Can we have her meet us someplace well before we get terrible, like butt sore from riding so far and fast? Since she can get here in a few hours, we can leave Pellek at a dead run.
Yeah, I mean, she could.
We can meet what if we meet outside just north of Ellis?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, you can easily do that. Yeah, that shouldn't be that hard.
Okay. All right.
Okay.
All right. So calling Aristavax, asking her if she would meet us, I guess, north of Ellis. Would that be given enough time, or is that more than 4 hours?
Yeah, that should probably be good.
Okay.
That's fine.
And I'll explain to her why. I don't want to.
Yes, we don't want to be seen using her just constantly.
As a mode of transportation. The night bus.
So after a few hours of travel and stuff like that, you're just a little bit north of Ellis. When you see Aravistrax is actually doing kind of that nap of earth sort of thing, keeping low over the tree line, and she lands probably about 40 yards off from you. The horses are immediately spooked. But so I need handle animal rolls from everybody. Okay, Temple got a 21. Very nice.
I did that earlier.
Oh,
Give
Calyx.
me a second.
Get out the gate.
Kiffy. Grenna. Good. Well, Grenna, you're probably riding bubbles, so it's probably not.
He probably wouldn't care. He'd be
Yeah.
like,
Yeah,
lean
he's
back.
pretty good with that. So, okay, so who am I missing? Tomas. And last but not least, Yarn.
Tomas canters his horse up kind of like straight out of Lady Hawk. He's like cantering it there, like, are we gonna do this all day? Land the fuck down. Let's get out of here.
I'm going
Okay.
to use my reliable talent. Since my bonus is 10, I can automatically succeed.
Okay. So, alrighty. So let's see how this works. All right. So, Calyx, you only take 1 point of damage from falling from your horse.
I should have called my my celestial.
Oh yeah,
It's hilarious that the paladin is the only one that takes damage.
And Kiffy, you take 4. You land real hard. Yeah, when you land, of course, you had your hammer across. Is your hammer like a 2-handed or 1-handed hammer?
I think it's a versatile.
Yeah, I think so
Yeah,
too.
it's versatile.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, because you have a floating shield. Yeah, so you can use it either one-handed or two-handed at any time that you want. That's true.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, so you kind of land on your side and land on your hammer, and it hurts a lot.
Ow.
Okay. So Erebus Rex lands and is standing there, and she says, "So it looks as though you have a new problem."
They do
Tomas,
seem to follow us.
well, Tomas looks at the dragon and with his wisdom save 2 at the beginning says, "Yes, dragon, and now you need to help us work it out."
If for me to grapple him and literally shut his mouth for him, what do I need to roll?
Well, let's see. That's an unarmed strike to start the grapple. So, of course, you'd have to jump up. You're going to turn it.
This Rex, do you ever have you ever in your life encountered somebody that you love dearly, but is a fucking asshole? That's our problem with him.
Yeah, I can understand.
I do not love that man.
Well, not in that sense, of course not.
Yeah. Only Yarn fellatiates me.
Hey, Yarn, I understand those boat rides are long and arduous. For riding horses and maybe a dragon.
Well, you realize that, people that do that never come back from the voyage.
Pellek, rubs his ass from falling on it, walks up to the recess and thank you. We appreciate your help. We need to get to
Chargé.
Just south of are we well no, we're not trying to get to Chargé, are we? I thought we were just gonna fly to Everand.
I thought we would go to Chargé and grab griffins.
Oh, the griffins there?
We're going backwards to go forwards, and the griffins are already deployed.
To Chargé is where they were going.
No, they were going to Misty Vale.
I thought you said they were going to Misty Vale on the way to there. All right.
No, they're in Misty Vale to help press the attack on True Light.
Okay.
Yeah.
And by the way, everybody's moving from Thornwood on the road north, which means Eberron or Doris is the target city. 30 minutes, Brian.
Yep.
So what we need to do is I would assume that they would have a heavy guard for a prince.
Yes.
So we need to follow the road from Thornwood to Evernan, possibly farther, until we spot such a caravan. Agreed?
We had a rest. Have we had a rest?
No.
How long do
No.
you need, Yard? You need a full rest or just a half?
Full rest.
I think if we
Can I rest on the dragon?
Not really.
I didn't think so.
Yeah.
Would you rest around me sleeping on a dragon? Oops, Yarn just fell.
I can fly, asshole.
Just tried to rescue him.
I could see Yarn just falling. He's like,
time is not on our side right now.
I just keep seeing Yarn falling, going, I believe I can fly. I believe I can touch the sky. Bam!
I can fly better than you. That's for damn sure. You have the glide path of a rock.
At least not
I
the
appreciate that you need to rest, but again, time is not on our side. We need to get as quickly there as possible.
I'm up for that. Let's go.
Let's go.
Okay.
All right.
Could I
Look at the aristocrats and said, "How do you want to do this?"
So she just she lowers her head and neck down to the ground, and she says, "Well, you all are the first people who have ever been allowed to ride on me. So I don't
We
know.
are honored.
I don't
You're
know.
allowing us.
I
to
don't
do
know
that.
how this is going to go. So
Before she even finishes, as soon as she lowers and says we're the first to ride on her, Tomas walks up and mounts her right behind the head. Before she even finishes talking.
okay.
This is the two I warned you all about earlier. I roll that wisdom save how I'm going to interact with this dragon every game. I rolled a 2. So I'm just like, fuck it. Just walks up there, gets out and mounts down. It's like, let's go.
You know, sometimes I can admire what you do for role play, but other times I'm just like, you're so fucked up.
Timble?
When was the last time that we scried? 4 or 5 hours ago?
Yeah, about like 5 hours
Hours
ago.
ago?
Yeah.
Maybe
Can't do
we
it.
should. You can't do it?
Nope.
What?
Can't
Is
do it.
What are we doing?
Remember I said rest?
What are
That's
we
what I
doing?
was asking. That's why you needed the rest.
Yep.
You know, I paint. I don't do mumbo jumbo. So
What do we
if
need
you have to
rest
rest for it, that's fine. You can tell us. Okay,
I did.
let's go.
All right.
I was going to see if we could scry his position again. That's all I wanted to know, that if we could or couldn't. So,
Well, the dragon's got good eyes, so hopefully we can spot the caravan from a good distance up.
Okay.
All right, onward.
Alrighty. So each of you take your places behind Tomas. And the dragon starts to, and Erebus starts to make her way, her wings flapping. You can hear the beat of those leathery wings that you've heard so many times before. But at least this time it is not in battle against yourself, against you, as you lift off and start to make your way to the north. And
For the record, Tomas made a will save, so he does not say, "Hey, this doesn't feel like the first time you've been mounted before."
oh man.
Yeah,
And I actually think this is probably not a bad place to stop for the evening.
I was actually I
Yeah.
was going to make that joke based on that, Brian, because I think this is a good.
Yeah,
We're
this is
getting
not a
ready to
bad
go into
spot.
it. Fine. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
we end at a mounting. That's mounting joke.
Yeah, Brian, we were going to ask you some questions and all that stuff. I
Uh-huh.
think I have one for you to think about.
Oh, okay. So
after rolling the
okay, so we're not doing a Fox interview where
I just thought you should work on this one.
Okay.
Are we actually pushing the boundaries to the point that you might allow inter-party fighting? Because Ed makes it really hard to not have an accident happen. Just putting that out there.
Brian,
it's a friendly fire accident.
Hey, Brian. No, because when you advertised this as a professional DM, you said no party killing.
Yeah.
Like I said.
I did say that.
His
I didn't say about killing. I guess he's talking about maiming, but yeah, it was combat. It was specifically combat. Yeah. Now, of course, to their credit, they did not know how annoying you were going to be.
Oh, yes, we did. Yes, we did.
Oh, okay.
Actually, Brian, in my defense,
then
everybody here except for Grinna. If Grinna wanted to zap me, she's fair game because she doesn't know me. But everybody else here knows how annoying I can be. So you fucking reap what you sow, bitches.
Come out. Can be.
That's awesome.
But we still love you, Ed.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Strong word.
Why?
Why I do not know. Anyway.
Might have planned to take his sword and all of his weapons out of their sheaths and drop them so that he arrives with no weapons.
No,
I didn't attack him.
But here's the problem. You also know that in combat, I am one of your best assets. It really is.
No, not.
Really?
Yeah.
Who's killed more fucking boss monsters than me?
Me?
Brian.
Wait, what?
Just suck it up, fucking yarn. You're playing catch up, man. In the early days when everybody needed somebody, when you were trouble, you went to fucking me,
No,
and I was it.
no,
So,
no. Who was always on the front line or the second line? That would be me. Thank you very much.
well, I think that's piss poor wizard play. So shut up.
I'm
Grinna,
alive.
Grinna, did you have your hand up?
For a lot of the campaign,
I'm
it has
sorry.
been Fire Wizard and I in the front. And then we run and hide behind Kiffy and Pellek's.
Yep.
Where were when the vampires were attacking and everybody was going at them? Tomas was there. In the tavern, Tomas was there. Going out and
Hey, it's great. You love yourself. Wonderful. Can we move on, please?
I love you.
Oh, Lord.
Is that an STD?
I can take data on that if you want, but can we move on?
Okay. So I was thinking next Thursday would be a good evening to do the Q&A thing for that you guys were talking about, and I was kind of hoping you guys would be cool with it. I'm totally on board. I just wanted to see, and I don't mind it. I think it would be fine. It doesn't really matter how long it takes. I mean, it could take up like the whole entire 3, or whenever you guys run out or get tired of asking me dumbass questions or whatever.
Actually, Brian, can I put that in there? I would like if I could put a voice. Either we do it on the 22nd or the 29th. Because if we game on the 24th, the 31st is Halloween. That's kind of a night that we all leave to everybody, right?
Right.
And on top of that, and Glenn and Mike Conant will get this. The November 2nd game, Alexa's coming in town, so I am focusing completely on her coming into town to see James play football in his last home game, his senior night. And so I'm kind of leaving the 1st and the 2nd. I don't want a game on Halloween evening. That's a night special to Stephanie. I know it also with Kendra. So out of that,
we had already broached the subject of playing that Tuesday as opposed to the Thursday.
Right.
Yeah.
okay.
Because my
Last,
scout
last game session.
house is a home
Okay,
game.
I must have missed that in the conversation. So
Yeah.
anyway, realistically, I would be more adverse. I would be more receptive to gaming on the 21st, but doing it like a Q&A on Tuesday the 22nd. But that's just my
29th.
schedule. Nah, I was kind of leaving the whole week of Halloween just alone. That way, because some people's communities, they celebrate Halloween on a weird day. It's in weather impacts that. I don't want somebody to say, "Oh, my kids want to go trick or treat," and it's raining or some dumb shit.
Why would they not go trick or treating
Okay.
whether it's raining
So,
or not?
Let me make
Have you
sure.
met kids today?
Let me make sure I understand what we're doing. So on the 24th, which is next Thursday, we're playing. Whether or not
That would be Mike.
let me shut up and let me finish. Whether or not we play with the Q&A beforehand, we're still playing on the 24th. Correct?
That's my goal.
Okay. We're playing on the 29th instead of the 31st. Correct?
So we can schedule the 29th and see what happens. It's like anything else. If some event pops up that someone needs to be away, that's just like everything else. We just go on.
Just like every other day we say we're going to play. Yeah, no problem. Okay. 24th, prepare your questions. 29th, and if we have to change something, we will. Good? And they all said,
questions.
and they all said,
Right? Hey, Brian, how's your trigonometry?